Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecca Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 125. Let's just jump right in with it with week in review. This is where we talk what's been going on in the warehouse, things that are coming up, stuff like that. And I guess first off, let's talk about the first part of this week. We ended up a little bit behind to start out the week. I think we're about caught up though. It wasn't that bad. But we were a little delayed at the end of last week because we had the MGEX show up and we had a lot of pre-orders to ship. So that was just a little bit extra work to do, pushed us back a little bit. Nothing too substantial, nothing out of the ordinary, I guess. But where things got worse is we came in Monday and both Dylan and Chad were out. Both were sick. And so that had us kind of running a skeleton crew on Monday, which put us behind a bit. Not able to pack, 2 packing stations at full speed, which is, the optimum state, right? And what made things even worse is we got a massive snowstorm on Tuesday. Honestly, at least at home where I am, I don't think we've gotten this much snow all year. I think near the warehouse it wasn't quite as bad, but we decided to close down the warehouse for the day. Roads were terrible by all accounts from everybody I heard from. It was probably the right call not to come in on Tuesday. And so a day of not packing causes problems, obviously. But Wednesday, we were able to get back up to speed and we're mostly caught up. And I think we should be caught up sometime today, the day I'm filming this on Thursday. So we'll be in a good state going into the weekend, which is good. So just wanted to address that. I'm really looking forward to the winter being over and no more snow and all that kind of stuff. I'm getting sick of these having to make a call about whether the 12 inches of snow we're supposed to get is going to cause a problem or whatever. It's a pain in the butt, especially where the weather is not always, the predictions aren't always matching reality, causes all sorts of headaches. In good news though, one of the things I am most excited about this week is we got word, I think it was Tuesday night, officially that our application was accepted and our account is set up. We are now direct to Koto. We now have a direct wholesale account, which is an awesome thing. We've been trying to get in with them for a while. They'd been closed to new accounts for a while, but they're obviously open to new accounts, or at least open to our account. And that's exciting stuff. So that means that we'll be getting a lot of our Koto directly from Koto. Doesn't mean everything will. There's certain things that will just make sense to get from other distributors. But it does mean that we're going to get kind of word about solicitations sooner because we're not going to have to wait for our other distributors to get their solicitations and then turn them around to us. It means that we should be able to get more of some of these more popular kits, like a lot of the frame arms girls and stuff like that. We've got a better line on that stuff. And just to show you how awesome that is, we posted our normal pre-orders Wednesday morning, but we ended up turning around and posting the solicitation for a new Megami device frame arms type kit Wednesday afternoon, because we got the new solicitation. So we were able to confidently put that up and get that up for pre-order very, very fast. And I'm excited about that. We won't be probably putting those kits up on order research quite as frequently now because the way the ordering works. I can't get into the details, but we're excited about that. Be able to get more of those things and stuff like that. It's going to be good. So really looking forward to that. Really like being direct with Koto, and I'm excited for other direct accounts we might be able to get with other manufacturers over the coming months and years. 2 other things. I'll be out at ValleyCon on I think it's the 26th. That's out in Chicopee, Mass. Another IPMS show. We'll be taking the drive out there, probably with Ethan, and we'll be filming. We'll be talking to people. If you see me, definitely say hi if you are there. We're bringing out a couple kits to show off probably. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see you there. So that is it for week in review. Let's move on to pre-orders. So we had a bunch of pre-orders this week, and we also added some early birds. Why don't I talk about those first? So we've got a few items that we've got coming in on orders that are supposed to ship pretty soon, should be here in the next week or two. One of those is the PG Gundam Exia. Last time we got them in, they lasted like a couple minutes, I think. I don't think they even lasted from when I put them in stock on the website and when I sent the message on the Discord. They went so fast. So there's probably only a few left as early birds right now. If they're still up and available, this is a great way to beat the restock day rush and not have to worry about getting up first thing. So you might want to secure one of those. We also have the Sinanju Stein Verka, the master grade there, and also the PG Exia LED unit as well. So if you're picking up a PG Exia and you want one of the LED units for it, now is a great time. The other new kind of extra interesting one is we've got a pair of acrylic display cases. We found a manufacturer for them. One we've sized specifically for master grades, and the other we've sized for most perfect grades. So both of those are $25 and $50 respectively, which I believe is a really competitive price for an acrylic display case. They come unassembled. They've got little clear plastic blocks, acrylic blocks for the corners and screws to kind of hold them together so you can assemble them yourself. I've got one here that I got in as a sample and built it, and the quality seems pretty good. So we're excited to get these. They're up for pre-order. We'll be getting them probably in the May timeframe based on the lead times. So if you want to secure one as a pre-order, they'll help us out just to know that our order quantity is what it should be and make sure we shouldn't adjust that up or down before we get that order formalized and placed with that manufacturer. So if you want them, now's a great chance. We also got a bunch of other kits up for pre-order. Good Smile, we got the Motoroid Aerial C-Type, also the Motoroid Aerial with flight unit. So those are some other girl kits. From Good Smile, we got the Motoroid 160 Type J9 Griffin. We got the Motoroid 160 AV98 Ingram and Bulldog set, and the Motoroid Flame Effect, which is kind of cool. It's just like a set of flame effect parts, fairly inexpensive for what they are. Motoroid 160 AVX0 Type 0, and the Motoroid Mobile Police Pat Labor Series AV98 Ingram. So a bunch of Motoroid kits there. We also got from Square Enix the Xenogears Structure Arts Volume 1 Weltall, the Vierge, the Heimdall, and the Sibzin, something like that, Sibzin, something to that effect from Square Enix. So Koto Bukia, we got a few up as well, including that new one I mentioned that we added yesterday afternoon, the Type Angel Arnval repaint color version. I think that's a crossover Buso Shinki and Megami device. So I'm not sure what Buso Shinki is, but it looks to be interesting. Red and black color scheme, and that'll be our first direct from Koto. The other nice thing about getting our orders direct from Koto will be that they should actually arrive here a lot faster as well. We also have the Frame Arms Girl Hresvelger Bikini Armor, Megami Device Soul Raptor. We got the MSG Mecha Supply 01 Flexible Arms Type A. So those are some like sub arms that you might add when kit bashing a kit. And I think that is it for pre-orders this time. So definitely worth taking a look. There's some good stuff in there. That said, though, let's move on to team picks. So this is the new section, kind of replacing restocks now in the weekly update, at least for the time being, where we'll let people, members of the team in the warehouse and elsewhere, talk about some of the stuff that they've gotten recently and recommend. So take a look.
I built the HG Aerial, new series. Decided I'd build the kit from it. It's got a new decal feature where several of the decals are designed to be inserted inside of the clear parts. So the decal's printed on the adhesive side, which was kind of interesting, kind of weird. And it's got the shoulder pieces where it looks like the decal is actually formed inside the plastic parts. So that's kind of cool to work with. Hopefully they do something like that in the future, because having this stuff shine through the clear parts is kind of cool.
I chose the Iron-Blooded Orphans Asmodee for the high-grade line. It just is a cool look, and I felt like it was a pretty cool kit to add to the lineup of what I have for IBO. So I did changed all the neon green to chrome plating with display markers, panel lined with display gold and silver. Just kind of did a lot to change up the look. That was my choice.
All right, so the kit I chose was the Entry Grid RX-78, which I actually just made a video on, so if you want to, go check it out. It's on the YouTube. But I chose it just because it's a super fun, easy intro kit, and I had a lot of fun painting it.
Hey, I'm Dylan. I chose the jungle type governor today so I could showcase to everyone that's how you're supposed to buy hexagears. Buy a little governor, buy a big hexagear, and then you put them together like bam, and then you get something really cool out of it. So I chose the scarecrow to go along with it. Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. But it's a good showcase of how the governors can fit into the hexagears and really kind of breathe more life into them.
Okay, so we're back. Let's move on to Q&A. So this is where I answer questions from you, the viewer. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next time. So first up, Plastic Germs asks a question: with old heads building mainly military models, do you think the category will phase or die out? How long will it take Gunpla to take over the US model kit scene? That's a good question. I'm sure that the demographics switch and change over the next coming years, probably decades really, will kind of happen, and we'll see more Gundam models taking over more of the model kit scene in general. I don't think planes and tanks and all the old school model kits going away completely. There's definitely some crossover. I know plenty of people who got into the hobby from Gundam models and then transitioned to some of those older style models, tanks and planes and ships and all that kind of stuff. There are definitely younger builders in those categories. I think there is a bit of a resurgence there too coming, but there's definitely, I'd say probably over the next 10 to 20 years, we'll see a gradual shift where Gundam and mecha models will probably become a much larger percentage of the overall pie, so to speak. But I don't think they're going to die out entirely. I think there will always be a kind of a market for that, a group that's going to be interested in those model kits. It'll just be interesting to see what those manufacturers do to try to keep that interest there and what happens. So hopefully that kind of answers the question. Fun question. What movie or movies could you watch again and again? That's a great question. Personally, I am not one to watch the same movie over and over and over again. I tend to not like to watch something more than once. And if I am going to watch it multiple times, usually it's over a long period of time. I might go back every few years and rewatch some of the Star Wars movies, for example. Or I feel like the one movie or a bunch of movies that I could watch more regularly is probably Deadpool, but I don't know that I even watch that super regularly. I don't tend to be into that. Kate, on the other hand, my wife, she can watch the same thing over and over again. She'll have TV shows that she just watches and binge watches and then binge watches again and binge watches again. I don't know how she does it, but that's what she's into. Not kind of how I operate though. Good question though. Next up, Plastic Crack 305. Question: will Mecha Warehouse ever create or sponsor a build team just like one of the big names in the scene, the Daytona competitor, and come out with contests in which the build team will also judge the builds and interact with viewers in the live stream, etc.? So we've had sponsored builders. We do have a sponsored builder team. We can post up some of those logos or links or something up here. We haven't really added to it in a long time. And basically my feeling on sponsored builders has been that there's an arbitrage there, right? The reason companies do it is they're trying to get more attention and siphon off attention and trust from these people, individuals, or groups that they sponsor. For us and for me, when I do the math, I don't feel like it's, unless that individual is really big and has a huge audience, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. When you look at the cost per order, say, that you would get and the ways of tracking it, it's really hard to figure out what it actually is doing. And I feel like what we've been trying to do is, rather than siphon off trust and attention from other sources, we're just trying to create that ourselves with our content, with being direct to everybody. no one's coming to us through somewhere else. They tend to be coming to us because of the content we put out and the things that we're doing, and that seems to be what's working for us. It's a lot of work to manage a larger team. Some of these places have a lot of sponsored builders. It's a lot of people to have to interact with, to work out and negotiate, what stuff you might send them to try to promote, trying to have all those people actually be available and build on a schedule or produce content on a schedule that makes sense. It's a lot of tracking. It's a lot of headache. And I've decided to put most of my attention into the things that need to be done here that I can actually control, people that are on payroll, and I can actually demand that they deliver on a certain schedule. We haven't dropped any of the existing sponsored builders in like that, but we haven't added to the team, and I don't think that we need to right now. We've got some other ideas for what we want to do with that in the future. We have had contests. We have pulled from those individuals for judging for our big contests. So we'll hopefully be launching another big contest sometime this year. Not sure what we're going to do for the judging team on that, but we will probably be pulling at least some of it from that sponsored pool. So hopefully that answers your question. It's kind of a tricky one. And one more question from Freddie D. Hey Nick, my question for the next video is, it's been two weeks since I asked about your grass and lawn. Springtime's around the corner. How's your grass and lawn doing? So right now it's buried underneath probably about 12 inches of snow. So I haven't really seen my grass in, a couple months with all the snowstorms we've gotten recently. So hopefully in a month or so, it'll all melt and we'll see that again. And he's got another question. Another one is, you can wing it. What Gundam scale do you prefer building? HG, RG, MG, or PG? So I prefer the master grade line in terms of actual building. If it's just for purely the pleasure of building the kit and seeing the gimmicks and that part of it, I really like the master grade line because it's got more detail. The whole inner frame thing is great, and I like seeing the engineering and how all that goes together and being able to interact with the model in that way. On the other hand, I've been doing a lot more painting lately, and customization, and high grade is great for that because it's inexpensive. They're smaller, which means less parts to paint, less stuff to worry about, and almost more of a blank canvas to add detail to, because high grades tend to be less detailed. So I kind of can go either way. So thanks for the questions, guys. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.